Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Force Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Okay, we're going to start off by saying Disney Plus has officially confirmed the start time of Andor, saying it is starting at the new normal time, not the crazy midnight thing they used to do.
Yeah, midnight Pacific, which was like
Mm-hmm.
2 a.m. here and 3 a.m. on the East Coast. And, well, probably a good time for most of Europe, or relatively good. I mean, or early morning for most of you. And
Decent-ish.
yeah,
And with that, they also put out the official synopsis of the show, and it's a mouthful. The Lucasfilm's Emmy nominated thriller Andor returns for its long awaited conclusion on April 22nd. The second season takes place as the horizon of war draws near and Cassian becomes a key player in the Rebel Alliance. Everyone will be tested, and as the stakes rise, the betrayals, sacrifices, and conflicting agendas will become profound. Rife with political intrigue and danger, the series is a prequel to Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which portrayed a heroic band of rebels who steal the plans to the Empire's weapon of mass destruction, the Death Star, setting the stage for the events of the 1977 film. Andor sets the clock back 5 years from the events of Rogue One to tell the story of the film's hero Cassian Andor and his transformation from disinterested, cynical nobody into a rebel hero on his way to an epic destiny.
that's wordy.
It's really wordy. They're trying to cover. They covered
They're-
Rogue One. Then
yeah,
they're like how Rogue One ties into the original films.
yeah.
Then they're like, oh, and here's Andor season 2, but here we'll kind of tell you that there's a season 1 ish by describing some of the stuff that happens ish there. It's weird.
I feel like that description was for the people who were, after Rogue One, asking, where is Rey and why are they building another Death Star?
Good questions. Good
Yeah,
questions.
that explain that they try to explain precisely what the show is.
And where it fits into the
Yeah,
timeline exactly.
and that it was like critically acclaimed. Wink,
Critically acclaimed.
wink,
Wink,
nod,
wink.
nod. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, but let's talk about some interesting things Tony Gilroy has just said. Remember back in 2023, Tony Gilroy talked about publishing the entire scripts to Andor. Remember that?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that he had 1,500 page collection ready to go to put out on the internet to share with all of us.
on the internet too. You're not even gonna charge for that. You could put that in a book
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, and well, I know he'd get me to pay for it.
Well, it was going to be a free website featuring all of Andor's scripts and the concept art, and he really wanted to do it.
But is this where the butt is? You got me all excited, and you're gonna butt
Sorry.
me.
Here's what he said specifically. I wanted to do it. We put it together. It's really cool. I've seen it. I loved it. AI is the main reason we're not. I mean, terribly sad. It's just too much of an x ray and too easily absorbed. Why help the effing robots any more than you can? So it was an ego thing. It was vanity that makes you want to do it, and the downside is real, so vanity loses.
Well, I can imagine years from now we're gonna look back at Tony Gilroy who said "F the robots," and that'll be the cry of humanity as we fight back against them. But
well,
what exactly does he? Because it'll just
well, you
take it
remember
all and
part of the thing with
assimilate
the
it, and
writer's strike was
yeah,
that they didn't want to be replaced by AI. By
certainly,
putting
yeah.
out all of that script work that he did means AI could literally absorb it and churn you out a Tony Gilroy original. He doesn't like his work being used without permission to develop AI tools that could replace them. And it's not necessarily a big company that's doing it, but by putting his work out there independently and for free, it literally means if I had a bunch of computer knowledge to train an AI robot, I could make my own Tony Gilroy. Here, read the 1,500 pages he wrote. You are now the Tony Gilroy class writer. You can write me more things like Andor because you've read how to do it.
But can't they already take Andor season 1 and 2 and other things Gilroy has done and assimilate it into the collective?
But why make it easier is what he's saying.
Okay, I mean, I can see that, yet at the same time, there is a hungry fan base who would love to read that and assimilate it
Mm,
in our own
I
way.
know. I mean, Christopher Nolan has called the lack of accountability in AI a quote unquote terrifying possibility. The person who created Black Mirror, Charlie Booker, called ChatGPT generated scripts the S word
Okay,
because they're out
crap.
there. And then other studios have partnered up, like Lionsgate partnered up with AI.
Partnered up with AI. They're joining the machines now.
With well,
Skynet.
they partnered with an AI startup called Runway
Okay.
to develop machine learning and stuff by giving it access to their content of movie and TV. Yeah. And so it is terrifying in a sense. I mean, Disney's even kind of looked into mixing it up with the AI. We've seen them trying to do
Traitors
that.
to humanity. I'm kidding, but
I mean, Bob
not at the same
Iger
time.
encouraged people to embrace AI's ability to, quote, make us better and tell better stories.
But I don't want AI to tell stories. I
No,
want
I want
people to
people
tell
to tell
stories, even if they're
stories.
flawed stories. I'd rather listen to or read or watch a bad human story than a good AI story. I want to know there was a heart and a soul behind it,
I do too. And that's why
and a
I
dream and a
agree with
passion.
Tony
Yeah,
Gilroy on this. And why make it easier? Yes, they can probably get access to it anyway, but why just put it out
yeah,
there and go, here it is. Here is my work. My greatest work is I of myself will put here. I'm putting it out there. Have fun, robots.
yeah. I'm not 100% against AI. I understand there are purposes and reasons and times you may
Mm-hmm.
need to use it, or you just have no other choice, or it's going to make
You're
something
right.
much, much simpler. But like writing stories,
Right. I mean, I thought what I always thought was really neat about Star Trek is the fact that they got to this like society where people got to pursue things they wanted to do
yeah,
because computers and I assume AI and everything took all the stress off of that. They had replicators. Why do they need to worry about money? I mean, money on Earth had lost its value, and now people pursued things they wanted to. I want to work for Starfleet, or I want to study medicine and be a doctor. I want to do this. Why would I want the robots to take over the creative sector? Because if I wasn't working for money, I would love to spend time doing creative things, not thinking, well, why can I can't even do that because the robots are doing it better than me, and
yeah.
it's out there.
Yeah, I just think it's hard enough if you want to be an entertainer or
Mm-hmm.
a writer or a musician or an artist of some kind. It's already hard enough because that's a dream of a lot of people. And so now you're not only competing with everybody else with a dream, but you're competing with
Exactly.
a computer.
Why learn to play the piano? I can just have a robot play the piano.
Well, yeah.
Why compose my own thoughts and into stories?
I mean
Robots
it.
are doing that now.
I mean, I understand it to a degree because I am kind of working on my story project and I'm exploring AI art just to
Mm-hmm.
give a little bit of imagery to it because I don't necessarily want to go out and ask a bunch of people to help me right now because I had a project before that kind of fell through and I feel really bad about all the people who put a lot of work into it. So I'm just trying to do my own little thing and it's helpful to have AI art just to give a little imagery and
Right, because if
yeah.
you can't do,
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, it would be stick figures on the screen. You have some art
but how would
ability
you
in
feel
that.
if you didn't even get to tell your own stories anymore because the AI is just doing it?
Well, yeah, exactly. And
That's where it starts to get messy.
yeah, and I can understand the artist's perspective of me doing that story and using AI art and kind of feeling the same way. Like, wait, Thor, you could have, because I've had people offer, and I greatly appreciate the offer, and I do eventually would want to do that again. But right now, I'm just like, let me do this story, and we'll go from there.
Well, sometimes it's difficult because now you're putting deadlines on people
Yeah,
who are
that's
offering to do something
yeah,
nice for you, and you're like, by the way, I need this and this and this and this and this, and I want them by here.
yeah. That was kind of my biggest
Mm-hmm.
problem with the initial sequel trilogy project. It was like I'm asking a lot of people to do a lot of work for free, and it's hard to say, hey, I need this by tomorrow, or I need you to redo that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like, yeah, if you can do something, I'm gonna have to accept it because I'm not paying you anything, and I know a lot of people did it for free willingly, and that was awesome. So it's a tricky thing. I
Right.
just don't want to get to the point where we're all Wally again, the movie. We're all just sitting in a chair eating and watching, entertainment that is even created by us.
Or you turn into a human being is just something that consumes, be it food or
Exactly.
median.
Exactly. I mean, that's the message of Wally, isn't it? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we don't want to just be consumers. We want to be creators, and we're giving creativity to robots.
Which is
It's kind of
odd.
sad. It's kind of strange that there isn't. I mean, maybe there is, and I just don't see it. I feel like
Oh,
there
they
should
haven't
be.
come for my job yet.
Well, they will.
They're working on it.
They will. There'll be bankers who
I know.
can crunch the numbers and figure things out better than, no offense that you can.
But people might always want I think the more AI evolves, the more people crave the human interaction,
Yeah, that's been my
the human
prediction.
touch.
Every time I talk about this, I say I think there's gonna be a time when AI just kind of takes over. I don't mean like the planet and like that, but like where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of jobs and things are kind of taken over by AI, and then there's gonna be this kind of reversal of that where people are gonna crave, like you were saying, like actual human interaction. Like it's gonna be a perk to go to a bank that has real people at it, or to go
Mm-hmm.
to the restaurant that has real servers and cooks and everything. I think it's going
Right.
to come back around. That's my hope, I guess.
So I'm kind of on the vein of Tony Gilroy here. F the
F
machines.
the machines,
F the
yeah.
machines. Let them do their work the hard way.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Don't make it. You don't need to make it easier. Yeah.
no, don't make it easier for them to take over. Yes.
Right, because they're taking without permission.
Well,
If he puts it all up
they
there
are
for free,
taking.
they're
Oh,
like, oh, I
yeah,
just get to take it all, and then I can churn out award-winning, critically acclaimed
yeah,
projects because now I am AI Tony Gilroy.
yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. It's scary. It's worrying. Again, I
It's
don't know
just
that
coming up
it's.
faster than I expected.
Well, that's how it works, right? It just
Yeah.
I mean, it just feels like yesterday we were kind of seeing the first iterations of it and kind of laughing because it wasn't very good, and now it's like, oh wow, this is getting really good.
It's real.
What's it going to be like 10 years from now?
Well, I guess we'll find that out together.
If we're still here, if they're
Oh,
not
if
just
the
creating
robot rebellion hasn't
yeah,
happened.
if they're not creating entertainment for themselves, and
Oh, that'll be fun.
will it?
No.
Well, I think this bleak conversation has to come to an end.
You made it bleak.
I did. I took it in a.
You do.
Well, Tony started it with his F the
Tony
robots.
started
I'm on
it.
board with him. F the robots, Tony. I'm with you. I'll fight alongside you. Anyway, I think that is going to be all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Join the revolution. F the robots. Just kidding. Leave your comments about Star Wars or AI.
You don't want the robots to hear you?
I know that they're going to use this against me years from now when I'm on trial by the great hive mind AI. It's going to pull up this video and say, you said F the robots, so you have to be killed.
So do I have to
Yeah, you'll be right
apologize to
there.
the robot overlords for you?
Please do.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks for watching or something, because that's it. We're done.